And now we move to the next presentation, the project ADVAN.ce, or Advance. Please, you have the floor.
In the past decades, derelict medical imaging devices have caused some of the world's worst nuclear accidents. For example, the infamous Guyana accident in 1987 resulted in the death of 4, the contamination of over 200 people, and generated about 5,000 square meters of contaminated waste. Now imagine if your company was responsible for one of these accidents. Our challenge giver, Siemens, told us that 41% of their imaging devices are currently unaccounted for. These lost devices do not only present an environmental and social harm, but also an economical loss, since valuable resources cannot be recovered. Siemens challenged us to keep these devices visible, to extend their life cycle, and to ensure a proper end-of-life management.
We identified the linear status quo as cause for these disasters. So we developed 3 modules that lead Siemens Healthineers to circularity. First and most central are the business-to-business partners. One current problem is the missing infra-OEM structure in remote countries. The business-to-business partner addressed this lack. Being certified by the OEM and provided with knowledge and the right tools, the business-to-business partner are the start of a reverse logistics network. The business-to-business partner are then responsible for repairing, refurbishing, reusing, and dismantling in the respective countries. Secondly, it is essential to address an existing knowledge gap for the right end-of-life path. For this, we set up a digital platform where we provide a database where customers, partners, and the OEM itself can exchange key information about the devices. Another problem are already saturated markets in developed countries. By introducing a device as a service model, where devices are not sold, but services are being bought, we ensure a higher level of traceability and open up second-hand markets. Here you can see the current linear model, where the end of life remains unclear and devices are being lost. Implementing our 3 modules to circularity, we close the loops. The business-to-business partner are the key stakeholders in creating the new value. With our new business model, we minimize the environmental damage, the harm done to the communities, and the economic loss by keeping the resources in the loop. We facilitate new ways of cooperation with the business-to-business partners and our digital platform, by this ensuring a proper end-of-life treatment for medical imaging devices.
Our 3 modules to circularity will alter the linear business model of Siemens Healthineers to a circular one by closing the loops. Based on feedback from Siemens, we are proud to state that our solution will in fact solve the problem in a practical and implementable way. Our solution is cost-effective, consumer-oriented, and economically attractive for Siemens and for coming certified partners all over the world. It can be implemented in linear business model of the medtech, but also in other industries. The high scalability of our solution is its main benefit. Now it's up to you to give us the chance to join manufacturers all over the world in their journey towards a circular economy for all of us. If you are interested in more insights, we are happy to provide you with more information. Thank you for listening, and we are happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much. So please, dear jury members, your answers and questions, please.
If I may just a quick one to begin with, is what are the real reasons these devices get lost or out of use? Is it because of the enormous license costs that Siemens and others impose on these devices, so that those who purchase cannot actually continue using them, or try to get rid of them or sell them in the black market, or what happens?
Yeah, thank you for your question. So at the moment, the devices being lost means that they are not available to Siemens as a company, and they are not traceable. So yes, there are already structures out there, but they are not like a holistic approach to a circular end-of-life path. So what we want to do is build up on these existing structures and just handing out more instruments and more knowledge and more tools to further grow on this, and then get essentially closing the loops and get the resources and valuable materials that are already out there back in the loop. That's it in a nutshell, or do you want to add something?
And of course, you're right, there is kind of a black market at the moment, and that's part of the problem, because these black markets prevent Siemens from being responsible until the end of life of a device. So with our solution, we are able to at least partially minimize this black market, because at least in remote countries where we have this problem with black markets, we are able with our certified partners now to address whatever the customer needs. I hope this answers your questions.
May I ask a very general question? What is your personal perspective on the future of such devices? Is the selling of such devices the model of the future, or would you qualify at a certain level of a device that in general we should move globally to just the device as a service model in order to be sure that we close the loops? Could you say some words about that, or for which products would you see this?
Maybe I'll start and you can jump in. Yeah, in the ideal world, obviously, just a device as a service module would be the best solution to this. However, at the moment, we are not able to provide this to every country that is out there. Looking at competitors of Siemens Healthineers, not naming them here, but Philips, they are already using a device as a service module, and it's working for them. We are just going one step further in addressing not only the European market, but also especially remote countries where there is no OEM infrastructure. Building up on that, we are looking forward and we are hoping that we can maybe create a better future for all of us where there is only the device as a service module.
Yeah, and just to add maybe a few words also on the applicability to other cases. The transformation that is needed for a circular economy is not only limited to a medtech company, but also to other companies that are already out there in the market and that need to go on this transition. And so we make our first steps and then just go and, in an ideal case, build up from that a whole holistic circular economy.
Thank you very much. Dear jury members, do you have other questions?
Maybe I have just one question. Have you considered the economic aspects for the user of the medical device, if it's not sold but used as a service, especially in the third world countries, that when the appliances may be used for a longer time than in Europe?
Yeah, so first of all, as we already mentioned, that will be the second step to roll out the whole device as a service project globally. In general, one could say that the need for high quality imaging devices will be out there in every country, and that the incentive to move to newest technology should be like in providing this healthcare also to the patients in the countries would ultimately be the goal for every hospital worldwide. So we hope that with a device as a service, we can also provide the newest technology and build up from there.
And maybe adding up on that, with our device as a service now starting in the countries where we have infrastructure for Siemens, we are able to, as already mentioned, to provide newer devices on the second-hand market, which then could be used in remote countries. Obviously, by doing this, we are able to provide hospitals in remote countries with newer products, and they can use them longer. And obviously, with our certified partners, we even extend the life cycle of the products with our repair service or information service and the training of the physicians in the hospitals.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. If there are no more questions or remarks from the jury, then we thank Team ADVAN.ce for your presentation. Well done.